Hi there, welcome to Thought for the Week. Thank you for joining with us. I'm sure you know people that are always complaining. Nothing's ever right, and it's no new thing. Way back in the Bible, Moses had a problem with folks like that. Crazy thing is, he just brought them out of Egypt. No more building the pyramids. They were free, but still they complained. In fact, at one point, they said, oh, we'd be better back off in Egypt. There's some people that'll just never be happy. They're only happy when they've got something to complain about. You know them. I know them. I like the story of the woman who was full of complaints, and the minister came to see her one day, and she began, oh, the children are noisy in the church. People never come to see me. My arthritis is getting worse. The weather's been terrible. And on and on she went. And finally she said, but you know, I've had this terrible headache all week, and suddenly it's gone. And the minister sighed and said, no, it hasn't. You've just passed it on to me. Moses had to put up with them, and the Bible says the people were murmuring. Have you ever heard people murmuring? I certainly have. And the daft thing is that the people who have least to complain about are often the worst murmurers. Life has its frustrations and its trials and its tribulations. You and I know that. It has its ups and downs. Sometimes, however, we've got to step back and put our life into perspective. We need to, if you like, count our blessings. When Robert the Bruce was fleeing from his enemies, he took refuge in a cave, and he watched a spider trying to spin its web, and it tried and tried again to get from one side to the other. Now, was that spider coincidence or providence? Did it certainly happen to be there that day when he was watching it? Each of us must decide in life's journey for himself or herself. When you have had that accident and walked away, did you say, thank God? Or did you say, I was lucky that time? Life is always just a matter of interpretation. And for the person who sees the hand of God at work, it is far less danger of becoming a murmurer than the cynic who only sees random chance with no plan or no purpose. George Herbert was a poet. He was part of a wee orchestra that used to meet every week, and one night on his way to the practice, he passed a man whose cart had become stuck in the ditch, and so he put his instrument aside and he went to help the man. And when the cart was finally back on the road, poor Herbert was covered with mud. And so we arrived at the meeting and he explained what happened and why he was in such a state. One man just said, well, you've missed the music. And George Herbert smiled and said, but I will have a song at midnight. People don't grumble as much when gratefully and joyfully they reach out to help others. Are you a complainer? A grumbler? A murmurer? We all can be at times. Of course, and yet I sometimes think that many people who have had it hardest are the least likely to complain. But for many of us, if we just take a minute to count our blessings, to consider how in many ways looking around us, and indeed looking around the world, there are indeed many blessings to be counted. Listen, thanks for listening to me once again, and God bless you.
Teach me thy way.